I am obsessed with liberation right now. Not only my own liberation, but the liberation of humanity, of everyone, women and men. We are tasked with claiming our sovereignty now more than ever. And one of the ways that we can be sovereign beings on this beautiful planet we call home is to claim our own inner authority, to learn how to better rely on our inner knowing. Things in the energetic field right now are very different than they have been for a while. If you're sensitive to energies, you can feel this. It's manifest in what's happening on the theatrical stage known as United States politics. There are so many twists and turns and things turning upside down, right side up, that it's challenging to ground into our own inner knowing. Over these last years and decades, even, there has been a shift away from individual critical thinking as well towards what some of us would call a top-down authoritarian, fear-based paradigm. And when human beings are feeling fear, it's really challenging for us to also expand our critical thinking, to look at all sides of an equation, to understand exactly what might really be real and what might be going on. There are so many different ways to look at this time. And like I said, if you're sensitive, you know that something is up, and maybe we're not exactly sure what's up and what's coming, but it's a very strong call to action to all of us to reclaim our personal power, our personal sovereignty, and to really ground into our deep inner knowing. Because let's face it, over these next couple of months, especially in the United States, things are just going to get more intense, more chaotic. The rhetoric is not going to get any kinder. It's going to get nastier. And we are tasked with staying in alignment with our heart self, with our expanded self, and cultivating, as I said, a new level of personal power, a new level of sovereignty. And so how do we do it? One of the primary things that I do in my client work with women is around radical acceptance. This means accepting ourselves as we are. That's, flaws, warts, and, all of the things that we might not love about ourselves, either in our physicality or in how we show up in the world, how we relate to some people in our environment. But what we often do is we are often struggling and fighting with accepting reality as it is. And we can very easily, I do this all the time, and I know we all do it, we can very easily slip into commanding energy, commanding that something be different than how it is, that someone be different from how they are, who they are, how they can offer you what you are seeking in that relationship. We are constantly commanding people and things and reality to be something other than what it is. And so when we do this, it is a tremendous energy leak. We are leaking out just like a dam that has exploded. We are leaking out emotional energy, psychic energy, spiritual energy that we need in order to be sovereign. We need that energy in order to be critical thinkers, to see and examine situations from multiple perspectives. When we don't have that energy because we've been fighting with reality, we have been commanding things to be different than they are, we do not have the energy we need to maintain our sovereignty. We don't have the emotional capacity. And so, how do we let go of commanding things to be different from how they are? It's so simple and so not easy. It's about asking yourself the question, Would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? The thing is that you are very likely totally right about what you're commanding. We want to command people to be kinder, to be better, to be whatever, fill in the blank of an aspirational, noble way of being or way of experiencing the world. However, we can't change anything outside of ourselves ever, ever, ever. It's hard enough to change things inside of ourselves, right? But letting go of needing to be right is not the same as saying, you're right, I'm wrong. Okay, your way, which I totally disagree with, which I think is harmful, is right, and I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means I don't have to fight. I don't have to fight. And so it's simple to just drop the reins, but it's not easy to do. But here we are with this beautiful invitation, swimming in this energetic field that feels to me deeply unstable, not very nourishing, but very exciting in ways that are also too stimulating to my nervous system. And the invitation is to keep coming back to finding all the ways within my own self that I am trying to command something to be other than what it is, right? And it's really hard to see this in yourself. This requires deep, radical, loving, non-judgmental self-awareness. And it can often require deep, loving, non-judgmental conversations with people who can truly see us, whether that's a loved one, a friend, a coach, a therapist. But the loving reality is that when we allow everything to present as it is without trying to change it, and by opening to radical curiosity as to what the hell really is going on around you and inside of you, you immediately begin to reclaim your sovereignty, your personal power, your inner knowing. And as these months go forward towards the 2024 US election, things are going to become more obtuse, more difficult to read, more frantic, I sense. And maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But we can always come back to our own sense of curiosity. I wonder how this is going to play out. I wonder what's going to happen next. And to be deeply, lovingly in that space of acceptance and curiosity and love and coming back, coming back, coming back to love. This is a radical, revolutionary concept to come back to love, to reclaim your sovereignty, to reclaim your personal power. I'm going to talk more about this, about liberation and emotional freedom ongoingly. And I'm going to leave this here. And I'm just so grateful for you for being here in my community and following along. And this is one in a series. So if you want to be notified of the series, you know what to do. Push all those buttons where YouTube's always telling you to push the buttons. Thanks.